Hello everyone, and welcome back to Voxeltron Gaming with me, Voxeltron as fucking always. And today I'm going to be a little bit more serious, a little bit less exciting, so for that factor I've got my lovely little fucking shit avatar right here, okay? That's good, eh? Go and have an argument about that in the comment section, I don't really care. But I hope you'll stick around as I throw my hat into the ring over the recent Mass Effect Andromeda debacle. Now I'm not promising anything, but if you don't want politics in your video games, or you find talking about ethics in gaming gets you in a tizzy, I'll try to keep it on the down low, but just in case, just click that fucking back button. It's right there. It's not difficult. Just move your mouse a little bit, click it, and you're done. Okay, goodbye if you've done that. Bye-bye. Right. For those of you who are sticking around, and for those of you who aren't keeping up with our favourite worst company ever, EA has a little bit of a, shall we call it, trouble with Andromeda. The fourth instalment to the much beloved Mass Effect series. Well, with one of their game designers and Mr. Here being unashamedly racist on multiple occasions with no word from EA themselves about his atrocious behaviour. The leaked issue that 1 month from release a lead developer essentially sabotaged the game before he left so you could only make non-Caucasian characters, and the splurge of restructuring for the past 5 years of BioWare's main offices really point in the direction that this developer is going. Normally in the way of Maxis and Bullfrog, aka down the fucking drain. And that's just the beginning of this fantastical journey we're about to go on. Earlier this week, those of us with enough disposable income and a distinct lack of soul to afford EA's early access service got a sneak peek at Andromeda for a few hours of gameplay. What occurred, in my opinion, was a really nice game. The frame rate was relatively smooth on my GTX 780, which was a surprise for a game that's apparently so high level as this. The gameplay was solid, and the overall design of the world was really, really good. However, I couldn't call myself a gamer if this game didn't have its fair share of bugbears. And boy were they big ones. For a game developed in the early years of 2015 onwards, it seemed we'd taken at least a decade jump back in animation quality. I'm not kidding. It would be more fitting to replace the character's jaws with single blocks flapping away at the atrocity performed by whoever finalised the lip sync. And the faces, good God, the faces, are reserved for a small spot in the deepest circle of hell. Why does everyone smile? Why do they look like this? Everyone. There are moments in this game where people are smiling over the death of parents. I'm not joking. Your main character smiles at the words, Alex Rider is dead, and then smiles. And the person next to her goes, dead, and smiles as well. It's as though the person animating the smiles didn't understand that it wasn't meant to be a smile at that point. But I'm not having a go at the game for that, because that's stupid, that's silly. But after looking around the usual forums and whatnot, going through all the usual places that normal general people start speaking about video games in, it seemed I wasn't alone in my opinion on these issues, and a lot of people, definitely more irate than I, decided to find out who was responsible. Enter Ali Rosemarie Liost, a cosplayer. I don't know if I pronounced that right or not. I'm sorry if I didn't, okay? A cosplayer working for EA, who at the time seemed to be very excited about her position as lead facial animator for Andromeda. It was even in her Twitter bio before this kicked off. Naturally, the more aggressive fans of Mass Effect put two and two together and started the usual cavalcade of harassment, aka passive-aggressive criticism, and the usual crap that you find on any YouTube comment section, with some accusations being a little bit more heated than others. Now, I didn't take part in this, and I condone such actions. I do not believe it is in any way constructive to just cavalcade people and harass. I will call some of it harassment, but not all of it was harassment. However, I still support their view. What occurred next is not only ludicrous, but it completely beggars belief. The story blew up. Hundreds of articles were written about this supposed witch hunt of bullies and cretins on dark harassment campaign, chasing down this poor developer for a job. Publications denouncing those who shouted were muckrakers, and trolls continue to appear, with others religiously defending Ali, as allegations she had no experience in the industry started to appear. Now, from my point of view, I can see where people are coming from with this. Even on a LinkedIn profile, it shows no work experience in the gaming industry other than her current job, with less than 3 years in experience in the animation industry. In my opinion, yes, that is very little experience in the field. She's a apparently a lead developer of. I wouldn't trust someone in such a high position on such a high budget game when they just have 3 years of experience in animation. And then the good stuff started happening. BioWare got involved, saying that a former employee was incorrectly identified as a lead member of a development team. Wait, hold on. So now the woman doesn't even work for EA? So let's get this straight. First, the developer claims that she's the lead facial animator, which BioWare now states she wasn't. And on top of that, she still claims, according to her LinkedIn profile and her Facebook and probably multiple other social accounts that I haven't bothered to look up because they're all fucking private now, claims she still works for EA. Which, according to this statement, she also doesn't. Now, a lot of people have been calling out this entire debacle as childish, unacceptable, and whilst I agree with their sentiment, I completely disagree on morale standpoint. Here we have a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other scenarios, as I like to call them. AKA, who's telling the fucking truth here? Do I want to trust a company that's so close to the higher echelons of EA's slimy tendrils? If this was clearly misinformation, why was it allowed to be said? Not just in multiple tweets, but in the developer's biography on her Twitter. Clearly something's wrong here. And simply allowing it to fester silently just isn't mine, nor as it seems hundreds of other gamers' style. As the saying goes, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and in this moment, the wheel is most certainly squeaking. And they're just complaining about the fact that we're complaining that it's squeaky. So, I don't know. A lot of people will disagree over this, and quite frankly, I'm ashamed to be part of such a despicable words being said. But then, I remember that I'm a human being who already has horrific things said about me on a day-to-day basis, and I get on with my day perfectly fine. And I don't get any articles written about my harassment. Honestly, I like BioWare. It's one of the companies that I wish wouldn't be like this. But I can only hope that BioWare comes clean on this one. In this day and age, when harassment is oh so common, apparently, transparency is a very powerful ally, BioWare. Thank you very much, everyone, and I will see you again in the next video. Toodle pip.